Hi everyone. Today I'd like to tackle a question that I'm often asked, which is, how do you remember all these sounds? And the answer that I give is, I don't remember them all, but what I do is I remember the method that I use. And I'd like to get into that today and show you a little bit about that method so that you can have a repertoire of thousands and then tens of thousands and then hundreds of thousands and hopefully millions of sounds too, because it's really not that hard if you have a method. And I can show you my method, and then you can also take that and then learn how to think about sound in that kind of way, and then you'll see methods in other people and in other artists. And when you listen to albums, you'll start to see like, well, they have a method too, and piece it all together. And then I think eventually you'll emerge with your own method, and you'll be able to have a great repertoire of sounds and also be able to like hear a sound and make that sound pretty quickly on the front panel of your instrument. So as a fun little project today, I'm going to take some requests from Dante and Ben. They're going to come at me and just say, here's a sound, make this really fast. Something like that. I'm not even 100% sure what they're going to throw at me, but let's get into it and find out what it is. Okay, so you guys want me to make that sound?
The lead, yeah.
Okay, so what I said to you earlier is I fall back on my method, right? So I heard it once. I'm going to break the sound down into 4 basic parameters: pitch, timbre, duration, and volume. And that's going to get me close, I hope, right? So the first thing I heard is sort of a mid-range pitch, and I heard something that has some harmonics that's filtered down, and I heard, I think, some vibrato, and I heard an attack that's kind of short, and that's about all I really need for right now, right? And it's playing some notes, right? So I'm going to start with a sawtooth wave, and I'll patch everything. I'll do this kind of quickly. There, that's going to hold the synth back in the right spot. Sawtooth wave in the filter. I'm going to pull the resonance down. I'm going to take the filter into a VCA. So I have pitch somewhere, I'm going to have to tune it, into the VCA, and then the VCA into the mixer. Sawtooth into the filter. So let's just hear what that sounds like. And then I heard vibrato. So let's get some vibrato on there. A low frequency oscillator. I'm putting oscillator 2 into low frequency. Get the vibrato speed up. So now I need to hear the sound again. Okay. So something like that. Okay, play it one more time for me. Okay, I hear one thing. I think it's up here. And what happens, let me try it up an octave. So what I had to do is make the filter a little bit brighter because I'm up an octave. And the reason I had to do that is when you're up an octave, in order to get the higher harmonics, the filter has to be brighter or it's filtering them out. So I think we're closer now. And you just kind of dial it in. And I got that slow vibrato. I think we're there. So let's try another one. Thunder. Gotta like that. Okay, so let's break that one down. Let me just try it, and then I'll explain it later. So I'm gonna see what I can come up with. And I'll patch everything. Noise generator to filter. Okay. I think I can do it. One more thing to help it out a little bit, and then we'll listen to it again. Okay. Am I close? 80%. Let's hear it again. Is that real thunder or is that a synth?
I think it's real.
It's real. So there's going to be nuances in there where I would need layers, but with a synth, you're trying to make like, a lot of times when you're imitating nature and sound effects, like sort of like a cartoon character version. And I say cartoon character because it's like a one-dimensional version of a three-dimensional sound, but it's still really cool because it's animated. It's like in your face. So I'll tell you what I've got going. And I could get another dimension going here too if I wanted. So I've got a noise and a filter, right? So you guys could probably make that with a mini Moog or whatever. Take your noise generator. Now this, you have white noise. That's high frequency. That doesn't quite sound right. Pink noise, getting a little closer. I'm rolling off the high end without using a filter. Low frequency noise. It's not as many frequencies at once, right? So it's just the lower frequencies. And I'm filtering it. It's in a low pass filter. If I had resonance, it would sound like this. More like wind. But without the resonance, I know it's going to be more thunderous. So that's like a tool I know. And by having a method, like think like a synth, my chorus is a method. And this is the method that I follow that gets me to follow this path, right? I think in terms of pitch, timbre, duration, amplitude. So pitch is all frequencies at once, because noise is all frequencies at once. Timbre, it's like cutting off a lot of the high end, but over time. So I'm using an envelope generator to cut off the high frequency over time at this rate. Then I need something to give it some jagged edges. So I take the output of the sample and hold generator and I run it into the filter, right, to make it jagged. But before I do that, I put it into a lag processor to make it still jagged, but with not as sharp edges. I round off some of the edges. So I'll let you hear an extreme example, right? That's with the edges. Now I'm gonna soften the edges. So it's still jagged, but I soften the edges, right? There we go. Here's a quick one. Raise the reverb. Quickie. Quick interruption. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. You mean a lot to us, and so do your comments. And if you want to get deeper into synthesis so that you can learn to make sounds like this on your own and make the sounds that are in your head, right, and do them quickly and do them without patch sheets and without even having to hear the sound most of the time, get Think Like a Synth or check it out. It's my course. Right now we've added 3 more lessons, so we're at 27 lessons, and it's expanding. And it will show you the exact method that I've used on hit records and films. I've used it for the last 40 plus years, and I still use it today, and I use it when I make these breakdowns, and that's what gets me close. I think you'll love it. I know that you guys want to take synthesis to the next level, and that's what I'm really looking forward to, is hearing what you have to come up with, and the new songs, and how the sounds fit into the songs, because that's always the most important part. So let's keep going. Back to the video. Wow. Okay, so it's a lead sound. So I hear a higher pitch. I hear mainly one oscillator, but it sounds like there might be something richer than that. I definitely hear some portamento. I don't remember if I hear much vibrato. And I hear some ambience around it, like it's definitely surrounded. So let's see what I can come up with without really hearing anything. A little too much portamento. Okay, so I got some kind of a waveform that I'm feeling like is close. I'm gonna add some reverb, and you could use like This is just a spring reverb. You probably need a bigger reverb, but you could use that off your, whatever reverb's on your DAW. So let me try some more waveforms because I think I need a little more help. I'm gonna try, let me just go with this square wave. And then I can try a sawtooth wave and then see if that's what I was hearing. I've only heard the sound once or twice, so. Tuning. I thought I heard unison. Okay, now I get to hear it again. Okay. Hear a little bit of decay in there. How did I do?
Sounds good.
Pretty close?
Yeah.
So there's a quick way to get that sound. And again, you can really dial it in, but I want to show you, like, for your track, you might need more brightness. So it's like this. Or maybe you don't want the resonance, or maybe you want a little bit of attack on it. Or octaves. Get it in tune. There's a lot of ways to go. Now with the resonance. Right? So use these as starting points and then tailor them to the songs that you're working on. The idea, though, is like hear it, dissect it. And one other important thing is sometimes we just start turning knobs on the panel, even editing presets. Just take a minute and just see what you could discover in a minute, learning your panel from left to right and just seeing what's going on. Because when you're thrown in front of a new synth, you might just go, oh, where's the filter? And just turn a few knobs. But like, if you just consciously take a minute, take a breath, and then take a minute, you're probably going to find 5 things that you are familiar that you can actually, edit. So you're not just kind of turning things. And you can get closer on these sounds without ever having to hear anything. And then that helps you be able to dial in the sound to tell the story that, the song is trying to convey. Oh, I like that bass. Okay, I'm going to go for it. First thing that came out. Okay, let me hear it again. I think I'm pretty close, just right there. So I have to get the decay time right. This is what I talk about, getting it in time with your track. Okay, so I think I'm within the 80 percentile, and that's what I aim for, just without even doing much. And I can A-B back and forth, like we've talked about, but I want you to see, like, the main components are a square. I use the pulse wave, and I have pulse width modulation that's coming from the ADSR envelope generators. I run that pulse wave with the pulse width modulation into the filter. The filter goes into a preamp where I can distort it. The preamp goes out to a VCA, and the VCA, I'll patch it, goes out to the mixer so you can hear it. And then you can dial up the resonance as much as that is without the resonance. You get it where you want it, and then you crank up the distortion. It's that combination of the distortion and the resonance. Let's hear it again. Okay, now. That's about it, right? A lot closer. What do you hear different?
So it's just less crunchy.
But look, you could get there really fast, and then again for your record, you might not, you just might want that without the resonance, or just a bassier sound, or brighter, or something different with like another oscillator. 2 oscillators. Octave up. Let's bring that in. Great sound. With a slow attack, or a sharp attack, or sustain, and I'll tune it up. Hear the difference? That's tuned. But a little bit of detune gives it some more attitude. So I'm just showing you a lot of variations on the sound. So I get close, and then I'm going to dial it in for my track. Okay, I'm willing to do one more. Okay, wow. Boy. How are they doing that? It sounds like 2 oscillators, and one of them's going up to the pitch. I hear sawtooths. Okay, I guess I'm gonna just try it, like I said. So it's just 2 oscillators. In tune, and then I'm gonna bring them up an octave. And portamento. Okay, I gotta get up another octave. Okay, one more time. Can you put some reverb on it, Ben? That would help me out a little bit. You want to try some delay? So there we are. And then it would be a matter of setting the delay and setting the portamento time a little quicker. So this is kind of how I operate. I use my method, pitch, timbre, duration, volume, to determine how I can get close. I make the sound, and then I might, I keep that in my vocabulary. Now it's like I know how to get those types of sounds, but I'm usually tailoring the sound. I'm not like making my existence being about like being 100% on the sounds, but it's about getting close and then tailoring those sounds to the songs that you're working on. That's what matters to me, so we can tell the story. I always enjoy doing this process. Thank you, Ben and Dante, for pulling a few sounds and not telling me what they were going to be. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and we read your comments. Make sure you tell us what you're thinking and what you're looking for. Maybe we'll make some videos that are not something we're thinking about. And definitely check out the course if you get a chance, if you're looking for a method to be able to attack what you need, and we'll see you next video.